This is a company commenting on where the assurance team should apply the professional skepticism. Okay. So they're
Okay.
telling you where to apply professional skepticism in the question that has been mentioned here. Right? So
Okay.
when you write the answers, always and always make sure you are writing what the question is about. Okay. So this is the critical what should we say? Uh, critic critics and application of professional skepticism. Clear?
Okay.
It's right there in the question itself. So start with that side heading. Okay. You're going
Okay.
to give a side heading. For every answer, there should be a side heading. Okay. Now, one by one, pick up the areas where you can apply your professional skepticism. Clear?
Okay.
Understood? Now, here
Okay.
they have, see, we have one thing to use against them, and that is the financial information that is being given. Sorry, non-financial indicators that has been given, and their contradictory takes on these non-financial information. Clear?
Okay.
Okay, understood?
Okay. Understood.
Okay. So in case of what they have been showing, okay, you can see that mm, see, bottles sold. Okay. As you
Okay.
can see, bottles sold has actually been rising from last year to this year. Right? See, it was 13,700. It is 15,400 now. Right?
Right. Okay.
Okay. And that means how much percentage of it has increased? How much percentage? 15,400 minus 13,700 divided by 13,700.
12%.
Okay. So 12 percentage have increased in size, right? If
Right.
this 12 percentage have increased, what should also increase? Tell me. How are they recycling the bottles? See, uh, all recycling of lift up bottles takes place through subsidized recycling partners. Okay. Grants
Okay.
and donations are subsidies paid by Soda Company to encourage the recycling of lift up bottles. Lift up bottles are recycled only using subsidized network. So what subsidized network means actually is that they are taking in help from others, okay, financially in order to recycle these things, right? In exchange, they are giving other grants and other relevances over to the community. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So if the 12% increase is there in the lift up bottles that have been sold during the year, okay, then they should get an equal increase in the recycling of those bottles. Clear?
Okay.
Understood? Now let's come to the donation. What happens to the donation? See how it contradicts. Okay. Donation has actually fallen down, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So how much has it fallen down? 240 minus 227 divided by 240. How much is it?
5. Yeah. 6%.
6 percentage. It has fallen down, right? Isn't it contradictory? Okay. Now
Okay.
why is it fallen down? Okay, maybe they're dependent upon they're dependent upon too much on subsidized funds. Okay, subsidized network that they are not getting any other things, any other they are not giving any other grant or donation or stuffs in order to get it recycled. Clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Clear.
So if donations are going down means people would not contribute to recycling. Understood?
Okay, understood.
They're getting recycle subsidies on recycling is because that they are providing donations and grants. Clear? Simple thing. Okay, so this
Okay,
goes hand in hand. Okay.
okay,
So if these are being reduced, what happens to the subsidies that they get? It is also being reduced. Clear?
okay,
Okay. So we have to understand. Okay, why has this happened? Okay. Is there any other recycling other than this that they have in mind? Clear? Okay.
okay,
So this means that the company is actually not much bothered about recycling. Clear? Or they are
okay,
not paying enough attention on recycling. We can say like that. Okay.
okay.
And if it is not recycled, means they're using new bottles again, right? They're using new bottles from over the whatever sales that they are having. They're actually using the new ones besides the recycled ones. Clear?
Yeah, okay,
Understood?
understood.
Okay. And see, this is also done in the report also. See, new plastic bottle manufactured has increased. It's not decreased, it has been increasing. Clear?
Okay,
Understood? Now,
yes,
under 2, what does they say? The price of the materials has remained stable year on year, and this has been verified by work completed during the audit engagement. So the price is same, right? So this increase is not because the price has suddenly increased and hence they got an increased cost. No, it is because that they have been uh, producing new bottles over and over again that their cost went up. Okay, so this suggests that they are not bothered enough about recycling or they are not paying much attention. Clear?
okay,
Understood? So,
okay,
but what do they claim? They're claiming that they are recycling things, right? They have said that they are recycling things, right? They are improving sustainability. They are looking for this RGW certificate, right?
right,
Okay. So this is like showing greenwashing, right? These are like showing them in a limelight. They are doing much for recycling things, right?
right,
Clear? But their information, their non-financial indicators says otherwise. Okay, so this could have been, you're going to suggest, why is this? Okay, so your professional skepticism is saying that this could have been done in order to give the sustainability factor to the company so that the RGW certification has been achieved. Clear? It could be the deliberate actions taken by the directors or the management in order to get the RGW certification. Clear?
okay,
Understood? So it
understood,
could be a
understood.
deliberate manipulation of information. Understood?
Okay, understood, okay,
Okay. Now, so these are the contradictory things. Now you see the recycled plastic material is this much and it has seen like it has been increasing, right? Clear?
okay, clear.
Now you have to understand how much of this relates to the total cost. Clear? That means out of 3850, the total cost, how much of it is actually a recycled cost? Understood?
Understood, okay,
Okay. So that way you would get a percentage. And you're going to mention that that percentage is too low as compared to the percentage on new, as compared to this much percentage of newly made plastic bottles. Clear?
yeah, okay.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you're going to look at the bottles, been subsidized. You're going to compare everything together. Okay. So you see here, percentage of recycled materials used in manufacture of plastic bottle is this much and this much, 14% and 23%. So they're saying that it has been increased by how much percentage actually? See, you can see how they have greenwashed it. The board is delighted to announce the improvement in these key. What sort of improvement? Is this improvement? No, it is not. Clear?
Okay, clear.
Understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the report itself says that it has been able to recycle a lot of items, and it is a 23 percentage that's been recycled this year. Right? Okay. And then they
Okay.
say that percentage of lift up bottles recycled is like this. Clear?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. And under the 2, the change in reporting of this metric has been made to enable transparency of number of bottles recycled or recycling lift up bottles take place through subsidized recycling partners. Okay. So they have made a change in the recycling, sorry, in the presentation. Okay. So they have just mentioned how much percentage of recycled materials are used, not like how much bottles were recycled. Clear?
Okay, clear.
Okay. And you can very well see that. Okay. The number of bottles that has been recycled is going up. Okay. But the grants and donation is going low. Okay. And the bottles that has been sold has increased. Okay. And the new bottles have also been increasing. So that means even these things that they say is that it is not because they have recycled too many items. Clear? It is because their sales have been increasing, and so does their new plastic bottles also. Clear? And recycled material is only a part percentage of what the actual sales are. Clear?
Okay, clear.
Okay. So when you compare that, then that means the recycled items are very low. Clear?
Okay.
And also remember, they have not included any opening stock or closing stock in the report. Okay. So that
Okay.
itself is also a red flag. Okay. This means that they don't want to show how much of the bottles are there in the inventory. Clear?
Okay, clear.
Okay. And how can you support your answers again? Support with the grants and donation, because they work on subsidies, and the subsidies could be genuinely declined because the donations and grants have also been declined. Clear?
Okay, clear.
Okay. And also, they have not provided anything much in detail in the report in order to support their to give supporting evidences. Clear?
Okay. Yes.
Understood? And
Yes,
also
understood.
see, the team is yet to provide information to the auditors. Okay, so that means the auditors themselves have not still yet verified the things that have been given in the report. Clear? Okay,
Yes.
and this delay could be mentioning, or this delay could also be a questioning thing in parts of instant of the auditors. Clear? So we are going to question them. Understood?
Okay, understood.
Okay. Now, you as an auditor, what would you have to do? You have to adopt various techniques in order to verify whether these things that have been provided is true and fair. Clear? Just a moment.
Okay, clear.
You're also currently working on the audit of free share company for the year ended 31st March 2005, and you are in the process of reviewing the proposed auditor's report. The following exhibits are available: post issuance review of Poland company, free share company's draft opinion, This information should be used to answer the question requirements within the response provided. What are the things that you have to do? Discuss the challenges associated with the use of data analytics in performing external company audits. This is, you do not have to refer to any exhibit to answer this question.
Yes, generic answer.
It's a generic answer.
Yes.
So, first one,
That I can do basically.
it's not
First one
free
I
of
can.
errors, right? It's not free of errors. You could
Yes.
say that. And there could be this one. What do we say? Loss of data. We say something, no? This one. Data loss could be there because I'm not getting the word. Okay. And data analytics is something that we have to have skill upon in order to use it. Okay. So the auditors may lack that skill in order to use data analytics. Clear?
Yes, clear.
These three I have just shortened into two words. You have to explain it, lengthen it. Clear?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. Evaluate quality management. Then ethical and professional issues raised by your review of the audit of Bodine Company and recommend any appropriate actions to be taken by Burton and Company using the information in Exhibit 2 in relation to Frisia Company. Okay?
So, ma'am, this basically, when we are asking about this quality management and ethical professional issues, this
Mm,
is basically ethical is all about the threats,
mm.
and the professional issues are basically the heal me part,
Factors to
like
be considered before accepting the engagement. Almost everything would be the same points as you have written before.
monitoring and leadership and all the things.
No, 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 no. It is not monitor leadership and everything. Professional means the things that you have to do when you are looking at a client. Okay. So
Okay.
that means the resources, okay, the evidence, same thing. Clear?
Okay.
And
Basically,
also, you have to read the question in order to understand what is wrong with the review. That is also important.
okay, the same pointers which I was discussing with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. But those are the starting points. You have to see the question and see whether something has to be related, whether something is there, okay, which has come to notice during the review. That is more important. Clear? Let's
Okay,
see. Let's
but
see.
ma'am, I just wanted to ask, like, there are six basically ISQM principles, that is leadership, monitoring, and
Mm-mm.
planning, and all that. So that we don't have to put in this ethical and professional issues part, like lack of proper documentation, lack
Yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah, we have to do it. That is what I
Okay,
told her. We have to look at the question and see if there is any lack of documentation there. If it is there, it should be there in your review points. Clear?
but ma'am, when we talk about quality, okay, but okay. So that pointers were for basically that was non-assurance engagement. That was a limited assurance
Mm-mm.
engagement.
Mm.
And it is like a reasonable assurance, so we can inculcate that points also. Okay.
See, they have given the this one also. This could possibly be wrong. There could be something
Okay.
wrong in this report.
Okay.
That is why they're telling to evaluate things. Let's see.
Okay.
Exhibit 1. They have told to read Exhibit 1, right? Post issuance review of Bodine Company. Bodine Company is a listed company which provides IT services and is a new client. Okay, is a new client of Burton and Company. You have identified the following matters in your post issuance review of the audit of Bodine Company for the year ended 31st January 2005. The auditor's report was signed on 31st May 2005. Okay.
Okay.
Use of automated technology during the audit. Boarding Company's committee was supportive the use of Boarding Company's data analytics software during the audit. The audit plan stated that the Burton Company would utilize the firm's data analytics software to carry out the testing over the completeness and accuracy of Bodhi Company's revenue. When reviewing the audit file, you notice that a lot of working paper in relation to the procedure performed on revenue comprises only a printed form. The data analyst software with handwritten conclusions appears reasonable at the bottom of each page, which is a red flag. Only that much, not enough. The audit assistant told you that neither they nor the audit supervisor really understand what firm's data analytical software does. But they followed the direction in the instruction manual for audit testing. Can put the results on the file as evidence. Clear?
Okay.
Engagement quality review. As Bodine Company is a listed client, an engagement quality review occurred before the auditor's report was signed. The engagement quality reviewer had raised concerns that insufficient evidence had been obtained, okay, and documented in respect of opening balances and comparatives. They had recommended that the auditor's report was not signed until further procedures had been performed in this area. During your additional post issuance review, you noted that only evidence obtained in respect to opening balance was agreed to them to the prior year financial statements and to confirm the previous auditor was a firm of chartered certified accountants. No, this had not been updated following the engagement quality review and the auditor's report, which included unmodified opinion, was signed on 31st May 2005. The EQR has also highlighted that the audit strategy stated that the results of the testing performed using data analytics software would be reviewed by a member of Burton Company's specialist team of experts, but there was no review that has occurred. You have since worked with the audit team to ensure yourself that the financial statements do not contain any material misstatements in relation to the opening balances, comparatives, and revenue. Clear?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, from the question itself, you have actually picked some red flags. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So in the question, what have they told us to do? They have told us evaluate quality management, ethical and professional issue raised by your review of the audit of Bodine Company. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. First of all, in the post issuance review, okay, the fact that Bodine Company is a new listed client is in itself a risk bearing thing, right?
Right.
Okay, because we don't know about the business that Bodine Company is into. Okay, we don't know the industry, we don't know their internal control systems. Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you're going to write the side heading as post issuance review of Bodine Company. Okay, and
Okay.
then you're going to write the side heading line by line. Okay, so first side heading would be newly listed client. Okay, new and
Okay.
listed client. And under that, you're going to mention, okay, Bodine Company is a new listed client to whom? Burton and Company. Okay, hence there is an increased level of risk of increased level of audit risk in due to the fact that Burton Company is not aware of the industry, business, or the system, the internal control system of Bodine Company. Full stop. Clear?
Okay.
Understood?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
as a post issuance review, what would you say? Okay, it is really important that you understand. Okay, and you have to give a detailed understanding of what boarding company is dealing with or what the business is about. Okay, and why is that? In order to minimize the detection risk. Clear?
Okay.
And also perform detailed audit procedures. Clear? Just a minute. Okay. So where were we? Okay.
The B part,
Now,
ma'am.
they have told that, okay, these people were asked to make use of data analytics, right? Okay. So you're going to take
No,
this
ma'am, we have to do exhibit 2 for this thing.
exhibit two. We have to use exhibit 2 for this thing. Using the information in exhibit 2. No, 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 no. This is like a line break. Okay.
Okay.
And see this colon?
Oh, okay.
Understood.
Yes, understood.
Okay. You confused me, Samriddhi. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So they have been asked to use automated tools, right? But
Yes.
now the problem here that you should note is that no additional testing has been done on the data analytic tool itself, right? We don't know whether it is going to be 100% accurate results over the data analytics tool, right? It's a
Right.
machine, it's a software, it could be making errors, right? So even
Right.
so, the audit has been the preliminary audit has been done on data analytics tool. It should have been rechecked. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. Or they should have made the assurance that this data analytics tool is appropriate enough to collect sufficient appropriate evidence so that there is no material misstatement in the FS. Clear?
Okay, clear.
Okay, that is the thing. Now, before this point itself, you could write like, see, when an audit is being started over a new client, the first thing you should do is get an description of the internal controls used in the company. That is the most important thing in the planning aspect. Clear? So you
Okay.
should get the sorry, the internal control system of what the Bodhin company. Okay, understand and get description of the internal control system at Bodhin company. Okay, and
So,
also
ma'am, this we just have to write this journal like we don't have to write headings like as we were doing
yeah,
that
you
in
have to
insurance.
write the heading. I'm just mentioning the answers. You have to take appropriate heading. You can write like understand the internal controls of Bodhin company. Okay, then under that you can say that IT Bodhin company is a newly listed client. Okay, new client
Okay.
and a listed client which provides IT services. Okay, since Bodhin company has been a new client, what is our name? Burton company. Burton and Co has no is not aware of the internal control system that has been maintained by Bodhin company. Okay, full stop. And then you say that, therefore, Burton and company should get a detailed description of detailed understanding and description of the internal controls in Bodhin company. Okay, and these internal controls should also be tested in terms of their effectiveness. In terms of their effectiveness. Clear? Okay,
Okay.
these are just basic words. Okay, these are just basic lines that I have used. You can mince those words according to your preference of the language. If you could add more formal language, the better. If it is not, you can use simple language. Clear?
Okay.
Understood?
But ma'am, like in that, like as per the other assurance engagements, the basically the five within the scope of the engagements and all the that pointers, we
Hmm.
need that pointers only for this questions, like for this reporting
This is
questions
not
also.
this is not a reporting. This is not like they're asking you to list the points before considering the engagement, right? Or during the
Oh,
engagement, what should you consider? The question is about what is the basic thing when you have read the post issuance review. Clear? Things that you have noted. Understood?
okay,
Okay.
understood. Okay, got it.
First thing is internal control. That is a must for all the new audits. Second thing is that these they have been the client is new, there should be an understanding of the client's businesses before proceeding with the engagement, right? So there is no such thing that is mentioned in the question that they have done so. Okay, due diligence or know your customers KYC has not been done. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Basic KYC must have done, but they have not made any steps in order to understand and minimize the risk of detection. Minimize the detection risk. Clear? Okay.
Okay, clear.
Now, Next is the data analytics. They have been told to use the data analytics, so they used it like a robot, right? They haven't done any test or things, or they have not taken reasonable steps in order to ensure that these are appropriate, these are reliable in generating sufficient appropriate audit evidence to support the opinion, right? Okay.
Right.
And also this thing that have been mentioned, okay, the firm has been they had to go do the IT review upon the software itself, but they have not done so. Clear?
Okay. So you're just using the lines and basically you
Yeah.
have to form the
That is
answers.
why I
Okay.
highlighted these things because I know I'm going to use that. So in the exam, also highlight things as and when you read. Clear?
Okay, ma'am. Clear.
Understood, no?
Yes,
Make
ma'am.
headings and then write. That is most important. Okay? Now,
Understood.
now, somewhere it is written like, see, this is the thing. Software should be reviewed by a member of Burton Company specialist IT experts, but they have not been uh, reviewing that. Clear?
Lack of
Mm.
mentoring also, monitoring also.
And also, there is a lack of documentation over the opening balances and comparatives. So it is
Yeah.
possible. See, what they must have done, what they should have done is obtain previous auditor's report and ensure that the opening balances are reasonable, right? But they haven't done that. And they have
Yes, ma'am. Now I
that,
got it, ma'am.
yeah, nor
Yes.
they have done the this one qualification on the opening balances. If they haven't got the report, they should have done this. Either of the two.
Basically, ma'am, we have to link this basically with the ISQC
Yeah.
six principles that
Mm,
leadership,
yeah.
ethics, human resource, and all these things.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Clear?
that was the question I was missing because I just read that question. Yeah. So
Uh,
basically, this is that questions. The
yeah. This
post
also
issuance
could be
basically.
written. Like they have been just following the instructions blindly. They did not have that knowledge or experience or skill in order to use the data analytics. Clear? That should
Yeah,
also
and
be written.
poor direction of the audit work is there, like
Uh,
inefficient evidence have not
Planning
been
is not
obtained.
there. Planning itself is at question because they
Yeah.
didn't test the internal control system, nor did they assure get assurance over the opening balances. So everything is wrong from the beginning also. Clear? Even after all these things, they have given an unmodified opinion. That is the biggest blunder. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. And you can see that they have taken in all the, see, in this, a lot of working papers are missing, right? And they have only given procedures performed on revenue comprise only a printout from the data analytics software, right? So they have no sufficient appropriate audit evidence in order to state that the revenue that has been represented is true and fair because they completely relied upon the data analytics software in order to verify the revenue. Clear? Okay.
Yes.
Understood, no?
Yes.
Okay. So putting all these into place, it is evident that the team has no knowledge of the data analytics tool. Clear? Okay.
Yes, I
So this is
understood.
the basic thing that they can do. I'm suggesting. Okay. So you're going to end your sentence by saying, in order to use something as this tool, okay, it should have been trained to the staff before being introduced, or it should have been gone through review process from the IT experts in order to implement those things. Clear? Okay. But
Yeah.
this was not the case. The audit team were forcefully imposed upon this software to be used, and hence, with that, what do we say? Without sufficient knowledge, the data analytics tool have been used on Bodhin company. Clear? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
As such, the audit in itself had raised issues which would question the audit report that has been issued. Clear?
Okay, ma'am. Clear.
Okay, now tell me, these people were on their own. It is nowhere mentioned that there has been an initial review by any audit senior, and even after the fact that this particular new tool has been imposed upon these auditors, right? So you could
Right.
write upon leadership also. Understood?
Right.
Yeah. You can write upon leadership. Okay?
And appropriate staff also is not allotted
Not
to
allotted because the
yeah,
staff is not having enough knowledge, right?
yeah.
Okay?
Basically using the six principles
Heal
of
me.
this
Take the heal
uh
me, apply it.
yes,
This
yes,
scenario.
yes. And that
That
was
is,
the question I was missing actually, ma'am.
hmm.
And I thought that I got confused with that engagement review, all that. So yeah, I understood, ma'am, that.
That is a separate thing. See, you could understand it by looking at the question. Like for those things, it would be like factors to be considered or matter to be considered before accepting an engagement or while during an engagement. The question would come like that. If it is about a review question, it is the heal me, the quality review.
Okay.
Quality standard and quality review are different things. Clear?
Quality standards and
Quality review.
so like what's the difference, ma'am?
Like quality standards is something that you do before or during the engagement.
Okay,
Okay, scope, fee, ethical requirements, like that. This
okay.
is something that is upon the,
After the
yeah,
audit report.
after or before. This is about
Before.
cold review. It could be hot review as well.
Okay, okay. Got it.
Okay,
But yeah, the answer lies in the heal me part only. So we have to use that
it's right there in the
principles
question.
only.
Make use of heal me. Connect it with the take the situations, connect it with the contents that you have studied in heal me, that thing, and then write your answers. But see, I think this is most probably they would not have used headings. Oh, for these they have used headings. See, this is like an essay. Make use of headings. Okay,
Okay.
and it's
But
good.
like for the review questions, it is easier to understand. Like as we just read the scenario and we understand basically what the flowing is to be done.
Also, you could give a conclusion paragraph on what all improvements should be done. Okay.
Okay.
Improvement should be like whatever you say it is not here, it should be there in the improvement section. That's all. These actions you can replace with recommendations or improvements to be followed in the next audit, like that. Clear?
Okay. Okay. Such type questions are still manageable because we are just getting the scenario, we have to link and apply. But that engagement things is
Yeah.
like,
See, 75 marks question would be manageable. The
yeah.
engagement question also, it could be like maximum for 14 marks. If you take out that 14 marks, rest of the marks are something that you could get. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. For engagement marks, for the engagement question, I have planned like I will write the skeleton answer first, like the introduction, which basically it's basically common
Hmm.
in every answer, and then the linking with the scenario
Hmm.
because I don't waste time. I will not be wasting time because that requires a huge time-consuming thing, I think.
Hmm.
So I should first do these questions like the
Hmm.
risk question and the this one.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we'll quickly go through this. We are also reviewing the proposed auditor's report for Freeshare Company, a publisher of printed magazine titles for the year ended 31st March 2005. Okay. When you read the question as and when you see something that is important, underline, highlight. Freeshare Company is an unlisted entity and its draft financial statements for the year ended 31st March 2005 report profit before incomes and taxes of 54 million and total assets of 970 million. Materiality for the audit, see, materiality is given right in front of you, 4.85 million. Okay. And internal quality procedures. The publication of titles which have been externally acquired by the company are correctly capitalized as intangible assets. Okay, that is good. And are not amortized as management consider the titles to be having indefinite useful life. As required by IAS 36 impairment of assets, and impairment review of each title is performed annually. That is better. The revenue from
Okay.
many of the titles has decreased, see, over the last 2 years due to the increase in the free internet publications. Many of the impairment reviews performed by management show very little difference between the value in use and carrying amounts of the titles. The audit team has assessed the impairment reviews performed by the management and expressed concern at the sensitivity to key assumptions relating to future sales and the discount factor use. So there is a thing. Okay. Management has based their impairment reviews on what they consider to be best case scenario, where the audit team used worst case scenarios to be prudent. They have estimated that a total impairment of 6 million exists. So if the auditor said 6 million exists, it exists. The management of Risha company stated that now you need to consider whether this is above the materiality level. It is, right? By how much
Right.
percentage? Just get a percentage also to be on the safer side, like you're using analytical tools. The management of Risha company stated that this is a result of difference in between the judgment and has stated they will not amend the financial statements. Right? Other than the issue, the impairment review described above, sufficient and appropriate audit evidence have been able to be has been obtained to support the financial statements and are fairly presented in all material respects. The audit supervisor has drafted the following extract of the basis of opinion and opinion paragraph. Free share company, which comprise the statement of the cash flows and notes to financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies, except for the. So, this in itself is a thing which is a red flag. This is wrong. Where did you read you can use the except for statement? Tell me.
For the negative insurance,
Hmm.
limited insurance.
Okay. The problem
Okay.
is that for a see, so this is wrong. The framings
Auditor's
are wrong.
opinion. Yeah.
Okay. This is wrong. Even if it is a
Basis for opinion.
normal opinion, also it is wrong. Basis for opinion. That's it. Basis. There is no such thing as basis for limitation on scope. Understood? Limitation on
Understood.
scope is something that is not scope about things on scope. It is not given here. Clear? Okay. So
Yeah.
you're going to say what all is wrong. Okay. So first the title is incorrect. Okay. It should have been a qualified opinion. Right? Why is that a
Right.
qualified opinion? Because the material misstatement exists, but it is not pervasive. That means it does not affect the rest of the things in the FS because the rest of the others are true and fair as they have been having as they have provided with sufficient appropriate audit evidence in order to back that opinion. Clear? Okay.
Okay.
And secondly, the basis for limitation on scope is not a title at all. It should have been basis for qualified opinion paragraph. Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Understood? So in this particular thing, they have not provided the fact that see in the qualified opinion itself, they should have provided except for the impairment, rest of the others are true and fair, right? So they have not shown that line. That means in the
Yes.
qualified opinion, they have not described what is wrong. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, there is
Okay.
no reference. Okay,
Reference. Yes. Yeah.
understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, see, when we say we have conducted, see, there is a specific paragraph that we use in relation to the this one audits when you provide an opinion, right? Okay.
Right.
So we say like we have conducted an audit of, okay, we have conducted, okay. So it should start from those wordings. Clear? Okay. But all
Okay.
these wordings that have been given here is not professional enough or it is not according to the core standards. Clear?
Clear. Okay.
Okay. See, the opinion paragraph, does it say that the financial statements are true and fair?
No.
No. What have we studied all this time? The opinion is whether the financial statements are true and fair, right?
Right.
Okay. So it is not there. Okay. Understood?
Yes.
Now, the most
Understood.
important thing that I'm going to make you study is that in the audit report, you are not going to mention that the management has refused to do something or management has rejected your recommendation. No, you are not going to say that. Instead of that, you are using qualified opinion. If it is a qualified opinion, it states itself that you have recommended something and the management is not ready to do it. So you have done a qualified opinion. Clear? Understood
Okay,
very
clear.
much. So this
Yes.
very line is not at all there in the audit report. You don't use such sort of unprofessional sentences in audit report. Understood?
Understood. Okay.
Okay. Now, there are limitations of scope. It is a genuine thing or it is a normal thing, but it is not something that you take under opinion or basis for opinion paragraph. Clear?
Okay, clear.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in terms of this is a draft audit report or a full audit report? Is it?
Draft.
It's a
The
draft.
audits
Where
of
is it? Where
drafted.
is it?
The in the second last line, ma'am.
Okay. So in the draft audit report, what is the appropriateness? Overall appropriateness? Tell me. There is a misstatement of how much? 6 million, right? And
Right.
it exceeds above the materiality threshold, right?
Right.
Okay. And auditors have verified their end of the calculation. That means they have done their own calculation and have reached to this figure on the prudence concept, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, the problem is, even though this has been done, this has not been mentioned in the opinion paragraph. Okay. That
Okay.
means
Got
they have to mention the amount, mention where the impairment is going to affect. It is going to affect the intangible asset valuation as well as the impairment loss, impairment amount, right? Okay. Clear?
Okay, clear.
Understood? Now, Burton Company is not, has already told the management it is wrong, right? Okay. And
Right.
management is not ready to change that. Okay. That means in terms of the in terms of the FS, it is a material misstatement. Okay. And if it is a material misstatement and if it is not able to, if the Burton company is not able to collect sufficient appropriate audit evidence, then it is a material misstatement, but it is not purposive as it doesn't affect the rest of the figures in FS, right? Understood?
Right.
Now, how
Yes,
this
ma'am.
should be taken, how this matter should be escalated? It should be first discussed with the management. Okay, you're going to discuss with the management about the issue. You're going to say them what would happen if this is not corrected. Okay, you have to say what is necessary to be provided. Okay, and
Okay.
if the management has still refused, then you're going to give a qualified opinion and you're going to give the basis of the qualified opinion. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay. And this is of the simple factor, that is auditor needs to give opinion over the things that they have verified. That's it. Clear? Understood?
Okay.
Okay. Now, this could also be the case that the auditor has picked out the prudence concept and has come to the worst case scenario as possible. Right? Okay. And the management take is what? In a good light. That means they are not going into the worst part of the business. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So as an auditor, as a professional judgment, as you make a professional judgment, it should be somewhere in between. Like it shouldn't be too worst, it shouldn't be too better. Clear? Okay.
Mhm.
And these are provisions. These are things of assumptions. These are things of judgments, right? It's the discretion of the accountants valuing things, right? So it is possible that estimates could differ from person to person, but it shouldn't be that much different that it exceeds the threshold of materiality. If it exceeds, then things should be considered into question. Clear? Okay,
Clear, ma'am.
understood?
Yes.
So, according to the auditor, the worst case, even though the worst case scenario has been adopted, the matters have been discussed with the management, okay, and still the management has refused to make any changes in their assumption, right? And hence, this would constitute as a material misstatement in respect of the in respect to the financial statements, and hence a qualified opinion should be given with the basis for qualified opinion paragraph. Clear?
Okay,
Simple.
ma'am.
Okay. Same thing in double A. But the problem is the question is more detailed in triple A. That's all.
Triple A, yes, ma'am. Because we have in double A, we don't do this question type things.